Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Ken! 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 Ken!
Hey everyone, and welcome to the recap of Day 7 in the Karen Read trial. It was totally Jen McCabe show all day. We had Brennan continue his direct examination, the sob story, how her lovely friend sadly passed away, how she's just a good old bear mama, taking care of kids, such a good person. And then AJ came up. And I've been around, I've seen a few different takes on how it went. I feel AJ have a tendency to help Jen. Jen really want to get these sound bites in. I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. And AJ kind of keeps pushing the same thing. When he doesn't get an answer, he asks it again, he asks it again. She won't budge. She's not gonna, oh, yeah, the last 5 times you asked me, I lied. In reality, it's this. I know he's trying to do it to put it in the mind of the jury, but I actually think when we ended yesterday, because she got to say so many times that I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, it kind of was bad for the defense because that's what they went home with the jury listening to. But that was the end of yesterday. There was a lot more. Jen's story changed again. That's just it. She can't tell the same story twice. If you go on every anti-site when they talk about Karen Read is such a liar. She can't keep a story straight. Blah, blah, blah. Every time she opens her mouth, it's a different story. But they love Jen McCabe. Jen McCabe has never told the same story twice. She clearly watched the last trial, and she was clearly prepped for this one. It's so clear that she changed the story. She could have changed her timeline. She changed her language. Now it's not a blizzard all the time. Now it's the Northeaster. This woman is incapable of sticking with the first story she ever told. And we were back with what we saw at the first trial. When she never told anyone, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, till she was on the stand, it's everyone else who's wrong. It's the police who never wrote down she told them, even though she did tell them. It's the court reporters that apparently didn't write it down. No, she changed that story because she was asked a lot about her testimony at the grand jury. Now it wasn't that, well, they must have misunderstood me. Now it was the same excuse that they used with Kerry Roberts, that we weren't asked that specific question. For those of you who don't know how a grand jury works, a grand jury is only the state's evidence. So you're telling me Adam Lally, because he was the one asking questions at the grand jury, Adam Lally, who wants you to say as many times as possible in front of a grand jury, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, knew that both Kerry and Jen have heard that and never one single time asked, so did she say I hit him? You claim you only said, could I have hit him? Did I hit him? And you never thought that, no. I heard that, but she also said clearly 1,000 times, I hit him. You have no problem talking about everything else when you're getting a question from AJ. But when Adam Lally was asking you questions at the grand jury, you didn't want to elaborate. I wasn't asked that specific question. That's such a bad excuse. The problem is, you know it, I know it, but does the jury know it? And I think they have to go home, get a powwow going in the defense team and say, how the hell can we get this woman to stop talking? Bev won't help us. Bev should tell her, hey, you asked yes or no question. You keep editorializing. Stop talking if there's no questions pending before you. Bev won't do that. We know it from the first trial. We've seen it yesterday. AJ needs to come back Friday and take her a different way. He needs to be combative with her, but he needs to stop giving her these opportunities to just ramble. And Bev will let her ramble all the time. We need to tighten it up. What was really good yesterday was when we got into the feds. None of us knew any of this because it hasn't been public before. And I'm wondering, because the feds closed the investigation, so now they could use all of the Fed material, or what's going on? But Jen McCabe was stopped by two people outside of her home when she arrived home and was asked, are you Jennifer McCabe? And she lied and said, no, I'm Nicole Albert. Then ran into her house. So if they did produce their credentials and say, hey, we are the feds, that's a lie to the feds. Maybe they just was out there and said, hey, are you Jennifer McCabe? And she said, no, I'm Nicole Albert. That's not a problem. But if they identified as the feds, that's a different story. But I don't know. He didn't really get into that. But then they called her and said, hey, we want to talk to you. And she said, I need 10 minutes to get ready. You can say, okay, maybe she needs the bathroom. Maybe she has all her groceries. But in those 10 minutes, Jennifer McCabe calls 5 people at least. And then forgets that she calls 3 of these people. She tells the feds, I talked to my husband and I talked to Kerry Roberts. Why would you call Kerry Roberts? Well, because it's kind of like if there's an ice cream truck coming to your neighborhood and you just want to call. No, you have no reason to call Kerry Roberts. But she also calls Peg O'Keefe. Why would you call John's mother and say the feds are at my house? This poor woman that you're just fighting for justice, that her son will be remembered in the best way. Why are you calling her and saying the feds are at my house? I can't fathom why you thought that was necessary. Then you call the DA's office, my victim advocate. The DA's office, my victim advocate who works for the DA's office. It doesn't matter, the fucking DA's office. And Brian Albert. Why would you call your brother-in-law and say, hey, Brian, the feds are here? Why would you do it? Why you called your husband, I can understand. The last 4 of them, there's no reason that you're having an interview with the feds. You have no guilty conscience. You just found John and you tried to do CPR and you called 911 and you just want to help the family. Why did you call Kerry Roberts? Why did you call the DA's office? Why did you call Peggy O'Keefe? And why did you call Brian Albert? I really, really hope we can get back to that part. Because that, again, proved Kerry Roberts, Jen McCabe made up their story, and Kerry lied to a grand jury. Jen McCabe lied to the feds. But more interesting, we now know about it. I really hope we get more and more and more of this stuff, because I think that works. AJ needs to stop giving Jen the opportunity to scream, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. We went into a long talk about the car, and I think it's too long. He needs to tighten up and get her more, instead of because he's building it up, and then he just keeps going over and over and over and over, and it works for us because we know it's a lie. But the jury, I don't think it works as well. But we'll be back Friday, hopefully a little more tight, and we can prove that she lied more, I hope, because I think that Fed thing is something people would think about, even people who don't know the case.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Ken! Ken! Ken!